Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. I am your host, Trevor, and today we're going to be talking all about that big guy back there. That's right, BigBearAi, ticker symbol being BBAI. And Big Bear has been beaten up pretty badly, as we saw this stock be at a 52-week high not long ago at around $10.50. But since that moment, we have only seen retraction since, and there has been quite the reversal. And so Big Bear was on some pretty big green candlesticks, but now we have fallen more than 70% from that 52-week high. And now currently, as I record this video on Monday the 21st, we are below $2.50. So a more than 70% retraction. When we look at just the technicals, it is looking good for any new investors wanting to hop into Big Bear, or if you want to add to your position. Again, just on the technicals, as we're looking pretty oversold on the MACD, and then also we are low on the RSI as well. But of course, when investing, you want to look at more than just the technicals, but also the fundamentals and the news as well. And so what caused this overall trend reversal was a lot of the macroeconomic trends. And so the markets haven't been the most favorable in general for anything. Most stocks, cryptos, ETFs have been beaten up pretty bad. Big Bear did follow the overall trends of the market there. But then also Big Bear did come out with their Q4 earnings for last year, and the numbers weren't the best. And so they projected for 2025 a pretty weak guidance when it came to revenue, earnings per share, all that. And then shortly after that, Big Bear also did come out and say that they would need to delay their K-12 filing. And also they said that they would have to relook at some of their numbers from the past. And so the fiscal years of the past haven't been the most accurate, whether it was from sloppy accounting or dishonest accounting, but the numbers just aren't the most accurate. And with the markets, we know that it is always forward looking, and what the markets hate more than anything else is uncertainty. And so with that news about their past numbers not being the most accurate, that put a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt into Big Bear. And so there has been a beating from that. And then to make matters even worse, a lot of law firms came out recently saying that they are filing class lawsuits against Big Bear for shareholders who have had a loss in Big Bear because of the news of that. And so we can see here that a class action securities lawsuit was filed against Big Bear that seeks to recover losses of shareholders who were adversely affected by alleged securities fraud between March 31st, 2022 and March 25th of 2025. And so because of this, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt has been sparked in Big Bear. And because of this, they said that they are going to have to look at their convertible notes due for the future. And so a lot of their debt comes from their convertible notes. If you don't know what a convertible note is, that's basically where an investor can invest into a company, give them cash up front, and then they are paid through these notes, which will then be converted into shares later on. And so this is usually a positive, as investors that are investing with these convertible notes are investing into the company for the long term, with the expectation that when they finally do go to shares on that expiration date, that it will be worth a lot more than it is right now. Truly investing into the future. And so with their Q4 earnings, it did look like a lot of their debt was paid down. But then with their filing that they did recently, they said that they would have to relook at those convertible notes. And so what that has investors fearful for is if there is going to be a possible dilution in Big Bear, if they're going to have to issue more shares to pay down debt. But I personally think that that dilution might not come, as when we do look at the revenues from BigBearAi, they do have some pretty large revenues. And then in Q4, they did say that they did pay off a lot of their debt, alleviating some of the pressure behind Big Bear. But of course, when we invest, we need to look at all angles. Me personally, I am staying bullish on the Big Bear. So I am loading up in Big Bear, but for the future. Their next earnings is going to be on May 1st. And so with their earnings coming out, hopefully we see something positive. And maybe we can see an overall trend reversal in Big Bear. If there is some positive news in this next earnings report, it wasn't long ago, again, that Big Bear was gaining a lot of value and a lot of attention. This company does have a lot of value behind it. Again, their CEO has ties to Trump, and they have already proven that they are able to gain big contracts with the government. Also, Big Bear is everywhere around you. So if you have been to the airports anytime in the last year, there is BigBearAi technology in a bunch of different US airports. What Big Bear does is it scans individuals' faces, and it overall brings more security to the airports. And we never want to see one of the companies we invest into go under any lawsuits, but this is common. So this happens all the time, and we need to remember that it's innocent until proven guilty. And so Big Bear hasn't done anything yet that we know of. So innocent till proven guilty, but we know with society a lot of the times, anytime someone is accused, it feels more like guilty until proven innocent, right? And so myself, I am remaining faithful in the Big Bear, but I would be curious to hear what everyone else thinks in the comment section below. So please drop a comment on what you think about Big Bear. Please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.